Homework and self-study. Oh, I think my times is up. Okay, so I'm going to incorporate interactive activities like group discussion, role plays, or maybe debates, or I'm going to encourage their active participation, and I'm going to assign homework that reinforces the classroom environment and learning, especially when they are doing a self-study, which is utilizing the online resources normally. And if I go for a role play, I'm going to tell them to play the role of maybe like the other day we were talking about booking of an hotel. So they may do it in that way if that really requires. So it's divided into self-study and homework both. And assessment and feedback, of course, very important. I'm going to give them mock tests, quizzes, and worksheets to be done. And I'm going to monitor their progress, giving them their written feedback as you gave us one. And I'm going to provide a constructive feedback to address the individual strengths and weaknesses. This is very important. So one point which I need to understand, and I think I may be wrong, is motivational level, which I cannot forget. There are 3 motivated, highly motivated learners and 2 moderately motivated learners here. So I'm going to group them and club them into a buddy group and tell them that how do you really motivate each other if you are a buddy. For the moderately motivated people, they'll have 3 highly motivated people where they're going to have a buddy. So choose materials which are intellectually stimulating, and texts and copies. I'm going to give them language structures. So this is what I think in a short while I can plan. I think I'm not sure about it, but I just thought this gave a weird thought.
Perfect. Guys, you're going to be receiving, sorry, I can't speak now in terms of the feedback, but I'll send an email by tomorrow, okay? So I'm just making my notes for now. Yep. Thank you so much. Nihali, could you please nominate?
I'm going to nominate Vidya.
Thank you. Thank you, Nihali. Okay, so coming to the planning, the course planning decision. So according to the student profile, so I may start with the first considering the ages in the language background. So as it says, the Spanish, they are like multilingual students here. So we cannot go like one size fits to all. So we have to make little changes in them so that the approach will be like they can get into and they can just get adjusted to that. So it might be like intensive course approach, what we can go in depth for them, give them the complete detail information about the complete plan, whatever we have taken, the course, whatever we have planned for the students over there. So for the next is like for the structure and the time availability. So the structure according to their, as Nihali was telling, it has to be like a tailored one. So according to their need and their capability of understanding levels. So we have to tailor neat structures, has to be structured for them. So we go with a different structure for them according to their pronunciations. We have to look for their pronunciations, their reading ability, their listening ability, the level, the range of listening ability, looking into them, the range of speaking ability because of their pronunciations and the modulations and the frequencies what they use while they're speaking. So we can make out that, and looking into that, we can structure a neat course for them since it's a multilingual batch here. And also we know that they are not so much fluent enough in English. So itself we give them a complete tailor structured course materials for them, looking into all these things. Next, coming to the next third part of the assigning the self-study and their homeworks. Yes, we give them a more of like handmade course for them. So it is specially designed, what we said, and individually planned for them sometimes when they need little more assistance. So individual personalized plans can be done for the students here, and the homeworks as well, like worksheets and course materials, which is designed according to the course materials. We can prepare the worksheets and activity materials for them. So here, as I said, we were discussing during our regular class period. So we have PBL, so like project based learning. So project based learning activities as a homework, then and also as a self study materials we can provide to the students here. Since because they are able to access with the computer and the internet, we can even give them the more importance and the here and there, because it's a very less time, though it is like 6 months of time we are giving. More of self study is important because they are like multilingual background and they really need more support, so we can give them a more internet and the computerized what we can say, a complete support. They can refer and they can take up their assignments. Then coming into their motivational levels, since because they are like they vary with the motivation levels, since they are starting from the intermediate levels to the advanced level. So we have to give them we have to provide the different platforms, making them a different levels of understandings. Sometimes we have to do this like a dramatic plays, as Nihalima was telling, the role plays. So even I had just noted down few things, like we can give them like peer reading, grouping up, and making them read few things or speak to their peer grouping leaders. We can make peer leaders among, or give them a individual attention and make them get a little bit adjusted to the environment, and we can help them a little writing an essay. So we can give them a more task, like task one and task two, when we were studying about writing the points of essays. So we can give them more of like a homework part, developing their for the developing their writing and reading as well. Then coming for the next part is the fifth question, the factors considering for selecting the course materials. So since they are like as I said, the complete course, the profile is only like depending on the multilingual students here. So and they are like they are like very much influential with the computers and the internet, and few are like in a different so itself we can even add like a homemade activities for them, few, and we can give them like e-materials also. Like as I said, they're very much fluent enough, they're very much happy enough in their computer usage of the computer and the internet, so we can provide them with their e-materials as well. And the as the many other activities like project based activities, as I discussed in the homework part as well. So we can go with such type of activities for them. So this is what my points and my course planning is. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Can we give a huge round of applause? Thank you very much
Thank you.
for presenting certain very important elements that I really liked. Vidya, please nominate.
Thank you. I nominate Vinita.
Thank you, Vidya. So I just went through the profile, and the questions that we have to answer is like 5 questions. So the first question is considering the learner's age, language, and background. So what's the approach that I would take? So here the approach is purely based on the factors that is already mentioned over here, the age and the language background and their availability, everything. So we need to customize, just like they said, we have to customize, and that's the approach that I would take for these profile, the student profile. And the second one was how would you structure the course to make the most of the available time. So their time given is 6 months, which is 4 hours per week. So it's kind of a long duration, which is 6 months. So you can focus just like that. The varying proficiency levels of the students, you can see 2 intermediate, 2 upper intermediate, and 1 advanced. So nobody is in the basic level. So what you can do is, based on their levels, you can give some homeworks. The structure can be based on that. So 2 intermediates can do some separate homeworks. Upper mediate can also give a customized homework, and advanced can do their own homework. So the structure can be like that. The course can have all the levels designed in it. So that is how I will do, because available time is really good. You have a good amount of time in your hand. So it's easy. You can always focus on both the homework and the activities in the class. So that is how I would structure it. Can be equal. And if they are, for the 2 intermediate students, I might give some extra speaking. So otherwise, it can be equal. That's what I feel. And the third one is the access to computers and internet. How would you assign to self-study? So as I said, the self-study and homework is more in this case, because you get more time for self-study and less time for the activities. So based on the language levels, the proficiency levels, for the self-study, we can give the intermediate students can be given separate task along with the common task that is given. Additional tasks can be given to improve their proficiency. And for the advanced students, you can give something that is extra for them to practice. So that is what I feel for the self-study and the homeworks. And address the varying motivation levels among the learners. I feel 3 are highly motivated and 2 are moderately motivated. So here the highly motivated people don't need to have extrinsic motivation, but the 2 moderately motivated students should have that extrinsic motivation. So for that, I would say I might be asking the highly motivated students like what their motivation point is, and they can help them with the point. They can ask what is driving them to learn this, or what is driving them to do this IELTS test or IELTS course. And based on that, if the moderately motivated students can relate to it, you can always motivate them like that. Or if they're weak in some points like writing or reading or anything like that, first give some very, very lower levels of tasks. And after that, once they pick up the things, and you can motivate them by giving them additional tasks, and they know that they can do it now. So that is a kind of motivation that you can do, and it is an extrinsic motivation. And what factors would you consider when selecting the course materials? Obviously, whatever is there on the left-hand side is all the factors that I should consider: the age, the backgrounds. And one good thing here is, though they come from different language backgrounds, nobody is having a lower level language. It's all intermediate, upper intermediate, and advanced. Okay, so we don't have to work a lot on the speaking, because they can always pick up. So the factors would be all of these, like age, language backgrounds, the proficiency levels, and whether they can attend it, everything, the motivation levels, their access to the computer. So all these are the factors that I have to consider when I design the course materials and activities for this group. So that's all I have to say, I guess. Thank you so much.
Very nice, very comprehensive. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I nominate Rangana.
As I said before, guys, please don't worry about the feedback. I'm making my important points that I have to write, and I'm also transcribing the audio as well, so that in case I miss any point, I can always go back, and we'll share the notes in feedback by tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Vintana. First question. Considering the learner's age, language, backgrounds, and proficiency levels, according to me, all are major. They are matured. Their age is matured age 25 in between 40, and the motivation levels of 5 people are 3 are highly motivated, 2 are moderately motivated, and varying proficiency levels, or 2 are intermediate, 2 upper intermediate, is advanced. According to my experience, I motivate the person who has advanced skills. I make him a junior teacher, assistant teacher to me. Uh, and apart from the two intermediate students, whether they were highly motivated, otherwise to moderately motivated, I check them once. If they are highly motivated, I join together. When you teach something, you will never forget. I motivate them like that. If they teach something, they so that first I make one of them or two of them uh, assistant teachers to assist me, so that remaining students also get motivation. And there are almost 96 hours time for preparing the exams. It's almost very huge time. I segregate it into 30 hours, 30 hours, 30 hours. Like that, I check within 30 hours what is their performance, how can I make them perfect. Like that, I will prepare some homemade material. Otherwise, if there is any material according to their level, I recommend them, so that I always insist them to mimic something. I provide some videos, experts videos. I always listen and mimic, so that mimic make their proficiency, their pronunciation skills very well. And motivation levels also I create motivations, so that I think that's 96 hours is the very comfortable time. I make them very comfortable, and I try my level best to achieve all the achievements by all the people. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to nominate Richa Madam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So the first question is, considering
Thank you, ma'am.
students' age, language, background, and proficiency level, what approach we do take? So here, the age group which I have is 25 to 40, and background is also totally different. They are from different countries such as Spain, France, China, Europe. So, or actually their level is also different. Maybe they are from graduate course or undergraduate or PhD course, or they also want to give a TOEFL exam or other exam to nominate they are enrolled themselves in another courses. So I should make course according their need. First, I try to check their efficiency level, aptitude level, provide by aptitude tests. So they are from multilingual background with different accent, pronunciation, or mother tongue effect maybe. So I provide a tailored and special designed course and try to understand their needs and provide them material according to that. We also provide them some group activities so they can help each other and try to cope up with each other. Maybe they have something and other can observe things also. So I talk about the structure of the course. So here we have two type of groups. One have uh, everyone group has lots of time to cover that course, but they are also doing their schooling with this course. So we can provide them more homework and very designed and effective course. We can tell them about the all 4 modules, provide them homework for that, and they have whole week to cover it. On the other hand, we have some age group learner, adult learner age group. So they are preparing for IELTS exam. So we can provide them, actually they have 2 hours each exam, each day, twice a week. So we work on 2 module on every day and 1 hour for a module and second hour for the second module. And we will try to cover each and everything in this short time duration. We also provide some extra study material and notes to them so they can do home practice as well. If I talk about the access to computer and internet, yes, this is very beneficial for a trainer because they can provide them ebooks, CDs, so they can do some online homework. or we can say they can use computers and laptops to do their homework. They can do listening easily if they have any digital mode along with them, so they can use these things. If I talk about the self study, yes, we should provide them some handmade notes, workbooks, and books as well. Okay, they can do some homework on them by using these things. After that, motivationally. So yes, we have different type of student which they have different type of motivational leading actually as well. So we should try to motivate them. If we have two types of like one group is highly motivated, or we can say intrinsic. So we can motivate them. We should push them a little bit more, and we should give them some notes and some study material and try to inspire them. On the other hand, if we have the another group which is a little bit low in motivation, so we should provide them material according to their need. We should give some better feedback to them. We should try to give positive or negative both type of feedback to them to complete their courses. And if I talk about the factors which I can consider, so here I have age factor, language factor, and so I should select material according to their need. Something like we can provide them some vocab or listening material or for some speaking words which they can practice again and again. So they can help take help from Google also, and they should try to improve their accent and other things. So these type of factors I will try to cover. And also one factor is very most important, like the duration of course and type of course, which I should focus on that thing. So that's it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hasni, you're the last one. Over to you. Could we request everybody to kindly keep the cameras on? It will make others feel good.
Yes, may I think so.
Sorry?
Thank you, Krish. But I request you to that until I finish my part, kindly permit me to keep my camera off. Network issue is there.
Oh, sure. No problem. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So consider for the number one question, considering the learner's age, language backgrounds, and proficiency levels, I would definitely go for a differentiated instruction approach along with the cultural sensitivity. For like, I would first conduct a comprehensive need assessment, which would help me to determine the specific language skills and areas of improvement for each learner, and group learners for certain activities based on their proficiency levels to provide targeted instruction while mixing groups of other activities to foster peer learning and support. Secondly, as a part of cultural responsive teaching, I would like to integrate culturally diverse materials, examples that reflects learners' backgrounds. For example, using text and listening materials that include these different languages and contexts to make learning more relevant and engaging through a flexible teaching method like collaborative projects, individual tasks, technology enhanced learning to address different learning styles. I would incorporate task based learning where learners engage in meaningful tasks that require the use of language skills relevant to real life situation. And finally, I would also go for the scaffolded learning, like provide support and gradually reduce it as learners become more proficient. So it can be achieved through structured lessons that begin with teacher-led activities, gradually moving towards more independent learner-led activities. For number two, it's about the structure and the time. There could be a weekly schedule, like which could be intensive and balanced curriculum, monthly themes and goals, integrated skills approach, along with the regular assessments and homework for self studies. So it would be like dividing the weekly 4 hours into 2 hour session, ensuring balanced mix of skill development, listening, speaking, reading in each session, and allocating time for interactive activities such as discussions, role plays, and presentation to develop speaking and listening skills. Monthly theme and goals, I would like move with organizing the curriculum into monthly themes, which focuses on specific topic relevance for IELTS exams like education, technology, environment, health. So setting a clear, measurable goal for each month to track the progress and keep learners motivated. Along with designing lessons that integrate multiple tasks. For example, reading a passage could be followed by a discussion, which includes speaking, a written summary, which includes writing, and a comprehensive question, which gives way for the listening part, and then conduct regular formative assessment to monitor progress and adjust as needed. So, including practice tests and timed exercises to familiarize learners with the IELTS exam format. For the third one, I would go for a role of self-study and homework, which will help us to enhance the autonomy and reinforcement. So you giving them recommending online platforms such as IELTS official practice materials, language learning apps, and websites offering exercises, using online forums and discussion boards to encourage learners interact and practice writing outside class hours, combining in-person lessons with online components. For example, using flipped classroom techniques where learners watch instructional videos and complete reading assignments before the class and engaging in practical activities during the classroom. Giving them regular homework assignments that would complement classroom activities, which include essay writing, listening activities, and vocabulary building tasks. Using of digital tools for submitting and reviewing homeworks to streamline feedback and make the process more efficient. Apart from all these, we should also be assisting them to develop personalized self-study plan for each learner based on their strengths and areas for improvement. So, providing them variety of resources tailored to different proficiency levels and interests, and encouraging them to use of language learning apps and tools that provide instant feedbacks such as grammar checks, pronunciation apps, and interactive quizzes. With the fourth question, addressing motivation level and assuring their engagement, it would be like assisting them to go with goal setting and tracking. So there should be a short term and long term goals related to their IELTS preparation, and they should be regularly visualizing their progress trackers, which would help them to know their improvement over the time. For the personalized feedback end also, providing them constructive feedback and personalized to boost their confidence and motivation. Apart from that, incorporating a variety of activities and allow learners to choose some of their tasks. Giving learners a sense of control can increase their motivation and engagement. Peer support and collaboration also fosters a supportive classroom environment where learners can share their experience and support each other. Apart from group activities and peer feedback sessions can also help building their uh, confidence level and motivate them. So we could be like tailoring materials and topics to the learner's interest and professional goals. So when learners see the relevance of what they are learning, they are more likely to stay motivated. And the final question of selecting course materials and activities, it could be like a relevance and engagement. First one is, as I mentioned, cultural relevance, choosing materials that reflect the diverse cultural backgrounds of the learners. So this can make the content more engaging and relatable. Proficiency level is what I would consider again, ensuring the materials are appropriate for the varying proficiency lessons. So using of graded readers for lower levels and more complex text for higher level. thus integrating the skill. So selecting the materials that allow for the integration of multiple skills. For example, an article can be used for reading practice, followed by discussion for speaking practice and summary for writing practice. IELTS specific content using materials that are specifically designed for IELTS preparation. And you can include activities that promote interaction and practical use of languages such as debates, role plays, and problem solving tasks. I would also choose authentic materials that expose learners to real language use. And the final one is learners' interest and needs, incorporating topics that interest their learners and relevant to their personal and professional lives. So, conducting a regular surveys or discussion to gather the input on their preferences. So, thus, by implementing these strategies, I would do the best to cater the diverse needs of the learning. That's it, Krish.
Thank you.